Hello, hello, and welcome to the Theater Freedom Project. Welcome to everyone today. I'm so glad that you're here, and Gabrielle Blue is here with me today. I'm so happy to have you here. She is here representing the Black Condor Tribe, and we are going to be having a very special conversation about healing and collective healing and, plant medicine and self-love. So I'm glad you're here today. Welcome, welcome, welcome
Thank
to
you.
my
I'm so
show.
happy to
Yeah.
be here. It's so lovely to just talk about this and have conversations about healing, especially within our community, which is incredibly needed at this moment in time.
Yeah. And what's so special about the Black Condor Tribe is that you guys focus on BIPOC people, Black, Indigenous, and people of color.
Mm.
And so that's really important. Why do you so much focus on BIPOC, first of all?
Yeah, I think for me and my colleagues, when we were moving through our kind of healing journey and going into a lot of these spaces, we found that we were the only Black women there. And it's a little challenging to be able to heal completely in a room full of white people. I mean, really,
Yeah.
because a lot of the trauma has been caused by that and
Yeah.
that community and nothing against them personally. It's just
Yeah.
really hard to like do that deep work. And I know for me, usually we have like sharing circles after ceremonies and then when you're sharing your these big powerful visions and the response is just like blank stares because they don't really know how to respond to that. They don't
Right.
give you the support that you
Mm.
need, and that's okay. It's not their responsibility to kind of know that.
Yes, yes.
So it was great that we were able to come together and realize that we need to heal with our own people. um,
Mm.
it just feels safer. It feels more comfortable,
Mhm.
it feels easy. So yeah, that's
Feels
why.
like there's a connection, of course,
Yeah,
where we're
absolutely.
connected to the same traumas and the same pain and the
Yeah.
same feeling. And so that just brings me to a question, because what you said is when you were in those spaces, you found that you were just like, maybe you and your colleagues were like the only Black women there. So why do you think that we as Black women or Black people maybe choose a more traditional route, or traditional in the sense of more cultural route? Like, you don't go outside, you don't do that, we stay in, we pray, we do whatever it is, but we do it. Why do you think that is, that you were the only ones? Because
I
we have
mean,
so much trauma that needs to be healed.
this is true, and I think, especially, Black Americans, we were raised in a certain kind of tradition,
Yeah,
um,
culture.
that didn't really recognize plant medicine. It just wasn't, I grew up very Southern Baptist, so there was no, okay, let's go do ayahuasca. There was none of that. So it's one of those things that you really have to like search for. And
Yeah.
in when I was going through kind of my journey and kind of searching for something like a deeper way of healing, I couldn't find. There was no Black spaces available. And so I kind of was just like, okay, so I've got to heal. I don't care who's around. And
Mm,
that's how you kind of, find medicine in that space. But I just think overall,
yeah.
we just haven't been exposed to that in our childhood growing up. So it's something very, very different.
And that would be, I understand that. That's probably, it's pretty scary. honestly, to
That,
really stretch yourself and that's what the Fear to Freedom Project is all about. I
yeah,
decided that I wanted to stretch myself. I
yeah,
didn't want to be afraid anymore.
yeah.
And I felt inspired not to be afraid and to expand. And if you really look at your connection to God, God is expansive. And so we're here to continue to evolve and expand. And I got a little ahead of myself because this is going to be a great conversation, but I want to read for the audience your bio and just to know, who you are. So
Sure.
this is short about Gabrielle Blue. She is a wellness facilitator, a Cambo practitioner. Am I saying
Combo.
it?
Combo.
combo practitioner. She's a Reiki master and a professional writer with a deep passion for creating sacred, inclusive spaces for Black and BIPOC individuals to heal and thrive. Her journey into health and wellness began in 2009, inspired by her father's cancer diagnosis, and it led her to explore the body and the mind's vast healing potential. As a private ceremonial lead at the Black Condor Tribe, Gabrielle integrates ancestral traditions, plant medicine, and holistic practices to guide individuals on transformative journeys of self discovery and collective healing. And I really like that. Yes, this is your bio, all of your superpowers.
So fun.
Yes, thank you. The collective healing part, why is that so important for us to heal collectively?
I because we've been traumatized collectively. And at the same time, I mean, once you start doing your own work, you automatically start doing the work for the people in your lineage, for the people in your family.
Oh, wow.
Once you start changing, and then the people around you understand, okay, this person is now changing in a direction that's very positive. It almost gives them permission to do the exact same thing. So, once one starts to heal, then everyone around them starts to heal.
God, Gabrielle, I really love that. I do. I'm serious.
So true.
Once you start to heal your lineage.
Mhm.
And what's important about that for me is that there's an ancestral village and lineage that
Yeah.
they are not here. You don't see them, but they exist on the other side. And you are healing also some
Yes.
ancestral stuff, right? That they did not have an opportunity to heal while they were present in the earth realm. So,
Yeah.
girl, you just touched me with that one. Seriously.
1,000%.
Yeah, collective healing is important for us. Now, what is trauma informed care? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so trauma-informed care is basically an approach that kind of recognizes and responds to the impact of trauma in individuals. It really kind of ensures that support is provided in a way that promotes healing and safety and empowerment. So it involves understanding the effects of trauma, whether that's violence, abuse, neglects, systematic oppression, anything. It uses this awareness to kind of create environments that avoid re-traumatization and prioritizes the well-being of the participant. So that's what that is in a nutshell.
Absolutely beautiful. And in your space, you have created a way for people to heal. So, let's talk about that. I
Yeah.
know you use plant medicine and it's not the only practice that you use. You guys have music and other practices.
Mm.
How have you all created that space for BIPOC to heal through?
Yeah, a lot of it is we're recognizing the ancestors. Like that is very huge.
Yes.
And we're recognizing the elders in the space as well. So it's a lot of reconnecting to just the original you, and
Yes.
that original you has everything to do with your history and your ancestors and where you came from. So there's a lot of We do a lot of grounding. So as soon as you get to the retreat site, there is, grounding that happens to kind of just keep you in the space. A lot of times, people come with, their travel energy and their stress and all of this kind of stuff. So the first thing we want to do is kind of clear that out. And then, before ceremonies start, we have, movement practices, we have meditation practices. We're, calling in the directions. We're doing a lot of pouring libations, things like that, to really create a setting of just like safety and security. We're trying to hold the safest, clearest container that we can. And so Adorable, who is, the lead facilitator in all this, has done an amazing job at, taking a lot of the knowledge and wisdom that she has gained in her over 10 years of studying with the medicine. She brings this amazing technology that really helps hold that container in a very secure and safe way. And so, our job also is to kind of hold that space and, really allowing everyone to set their intention. You can say your intention out loud if you want, or you can keep it to yourself. But we really want to create that sense of community. Like everyone in this room is holding space for everyone, and everyone in this room is doing their own work, and we're providing that space for that. So, yeah.
I want to come now.
I mean, if we had one this weekend, come on down. Come on
I
down.
mean, we're gonna get in a little bit more like how you guys started,
Mhm.
but how I found you, I don't even remember too much, but I have felt that the medicine has called me. I
Yes.
didn't call it. It
Yes.
and to explain to people, I was thinking about, ayahuasca for the healing purposes, but I also smoked cigarettes
Mhm.
and I ate meat and stuff when I thought about it. And when I looked at, there's a preparation for
Mhm.
this process, and that was so good. But when I looked at the preparation, it's like, you can't smoke cigarettes, you can't, eat, don't eat meat. Like there's a preparation. I was just like, oh, like I don't even know if that's gonna be for me. Well, fast forward a year later, I don't smoke cigarettes. I haven't smoked in a year.
Mhm.
And, I don't care for meat. I stopped eating it. I eat, sometimes, but not really. I don't need it in my life anymore. So at some point, I felt like Source was saying, kind of leading up to this, like you were being prepared,
Right.
sort of like, and I was like, wow, because I never would have thought about not eating cheese. I don't eat cheese ever. I don't eat any dairy anymore. Man, I love cheese so much. I'm like, I was gonna eat that forever. So I
And that and it's one of those things where a lot of people, when they're doing research about something like this and they
yeah,
see all of these restrictions, it almost kind of just like it's a little bit of a turn off. And there's I just want to clarify some things
yeah.
around that, because that you don't have to not eat meat or not eat cheese. You don't have to go through all these dietary
Oh, okay.
in order to do the medicine. And the reason why the restrictions are there is for people who are really wanting to have the clearest container possible,
Mm,
vessel possible before
yes.
doing the medicine. I mean, I still eat meat every now and then, and I'm still
Mhm.
very much deep into ayahuasca. I just know that before ceremony, what I do, my personal practice is to go on that kind of strict kind of
Yeah.
diet. No meat, no salt, no sugar, no all this kind of stuff. But
Mhm.
that is not the requirement. I mean, there have been times when I was moving through my, healing journey, and I had ceremony the next day, and I definitely went to, Wendy's, got a burger, some fries.
I hear you.
Stressed. I got it, all of those things. And it's
Good.
so you can come as you are for sure.
Okay.
And some people just feel motivated to do a little bit of the work beforehand. And if that is the case, we have all of that kind of documentation ready for you to be like, okay,
Yes.
if you are choosing to want to do an extra step, these are the things that you could do. But if that's not what you're feeling called to do, that's totally okay. You're still going to get cleared out. Promising now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah, for sure.
That is, I was gonna ask you about, some misconceptions and stuff, but that is one
Mhm.
because I immediately was like, I don't even think I'll be able to stop smoking for a
Right.
day, so
Yeah.
let alone 4 weeks. But, for me, my health has changed, and those changes have happened in my life because that's my journey, and it really
Yeah.
has just turned out to be so good for me, you know what I mean?
Perfect.
So, yeah, good for clearing that up. So, how did you guys start the Black Condor Tribe?
Yeah, it honestly, it was started, before Black Condor, there was Adorable, who was our lead facilitator, who
Okay.
really, was she had this vision way before I did, way before my colleague Amber did, and she had the wisdom and the guidance and the focus and the determination to just start something. And
Mhm.
she started this, in her living room. She just brought people over to her house, and this was in Oakland, and that was the first ceremony. Um,
Wow.
and it was, I think, I don't know, 10, 12 people.
Mhm.
She said it was so successful that, when things are good in our community, word spreads like
Yes,
wildfire.
yes, yes.
And it just became a thing, and she developed this beautiful community, prior to Black Condor, and then was motivated to kind of do something far more sacred, and had a bigger vision. And
Mm.
this is where Black Condor was created. So I was already a part of her original community, and then, wanting to do something a little bit more sacred with a bigger vision. Black Condor was created. So
Mm.
we did that together, which was really beautiful. It's nice to be able to uh, start a tribe from the beginning, and to just
Yes.
see it grow, and to see how, oh, like, you came, oh, you brought your mom this time, oh, you brought your best, and everyone's just bringing more people every time.
Mhm.
It's nice to see friends coming together, to see, husband and wife coming together, mother and daughter coming together. It's just really beautiful to be able to see that. So it really started small and humble, but the vision was big, and I'm
Mhm.
sure the download she got was 1,000% ancestral, because we
Yes.
this. So yeah, it was a beautiful thing that all of us were able to connect at the same time, and share this vision, and understand how important it is. And it's not a race. It is certainly a marathon, and
Mm.
it grows at the pace that makes sense for the collective. And right now, it's doing pretty well.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that. You guys are based on the West Coast, though. Yes, you
Yeah,
are in.
so we kind of got our start, in Oakland.
Mhm.
At this point, we kind of go where we're needed. So we've been called to Mexico. We've been called to different places, and because there's a group of BIPOC people, a group of Black people, a group of expats that want to do something. And yeah, we
Wow.
try to answer those calls whenever we get them. Yeah.
So okay, so you guys, I know you talked about. Are you guys coming to the East Coast?
So we have desire to go to the East Coast. It's definitely something that's in the works. I could say it's cooking. I could say it's simmering.
Um, it's brewing. You guys are brewing that up for us.
Brewing that up. So we have had a lot of calls for it on the East Coast.
Mhm.
So it's in the works.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where we have two different kinds of ceremonies. So we have what we call like a general ceremony. So that's the ones that we kind of have 4 or 5 times a year.
Mm.
Um, and it's usually a larger group that comes. And then we have something called private ceremonies, and so these are ceremonies for you know uh, uh, you know at least 10 people who kind of know each other. They could be family and friends that just want something more intimate and personalized.
Wow.
So we create those as well, because sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming to be in a brand new space doing a brand new thing with people you don't know.
Mhm, mhm.
if you and your group of friends are just like, yeah, let's do this journey together, and we would prefer just to have it in our own space, in our own setting, that I think that is equally as powerful, because you guys are all working. It's when you have that shared connection before you even start
Yeah.
medicine, um,
Mhm.
then I think the ability to do a lot of great healing is I think even more potent.
Wow, that is amazing. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the Fear to Freedom Project, and we're talking to Gabrielle Black from the Black Condor Tribe, and they offer healing through plant medicine and other ancestral wisdom and just other practices. So yeah, I'm very excited about what you're saying. I know sometimes what is the misconception about ayahuasca or plant medicine? I think I know I've heard is like you could possibly like lose your mind. And I'm thinking you can lose your mind just walking down the street, like existing in this earth realm.
Yeah,
You could
I
almost
think
lose your
people are losing
mind.
their mind all the time. You don't have to be on a medicine to lose your
No,
mind.
you do
Just
not.
maybe
So I
already. Okay.
yeah,
So
yes,
yeah, I
girl.
think that was my biggest misconception when I first was like researching ayahuasca and I was watching all these documentaries. First of all, it's a lot. So I think that's the biggest thing, that people are just like,
Mhm.
I don't want to lose grip of my reality and be into like a mental hospital and da 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 da. And I was also worried about just like, are people going to like see me as crazy? Like, am I going to come back to my family and they're going to be like, ooh, Gabby's lost it? Like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff was like really real, because that's the only stuff that you kind of see on the internet.
Mhm, mhm,
And I think the thing around that is there are some kind of, health things that you need to be aware of before doing ayahuasca. If you
mhm,
have a history of maybe, you know, people in your family that have like schizophrenia or things like that, it, ayahuasca might not be for you, because
okay.
it could low key activate that gene if it's already in your family history. So these
Okay.
are the things that you need to be aware of. And we do a really thorough kind of health screening with each of our participants, just to, these are the questions that we ask, are you taking any medication? But all of these things, we need to make
Mhm.
sure that there is a very thorough safety protocol before even stepping into it, which
Good.
is why we always have one-on-one calls with every participant to answer any and all questions. And
Mhm, mhm.
follow-up call, great, because the thing that we want to ensure is that you feel very confident and comfortable and safe making this decision. Uh,
Yes.
and that's what we try to provide. So, I mean, I've been doing the work for many many years. Of I don't know how many shots of ayahuasca I've taken, a lot, and I feel that
And you look like your mind is intact. You sound like it. You look beautiful. You're articulate.
I mean, I definitely feel far more grounded in just like
Yeah.
the root of who I am. And
Mm.
it's so funny because before I did that, I felt so lost in the world. I felt
Yeah.
like I was just reacting to circumstances in life, and not
Mm.
understanding that I I am driving this vehicle. I am the one that can create
Yeah.
these pathways for myself. And it's I feel like I'm far more grounded in reality
Mhm, mhm.
than before I even started this whole journey.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. How did your friends take it? I mean, how did your family
Yeah.
once you started and now it is a part of your practice, your lifestyle, what
Yeah.
do your friends and family say?
Yeah, they're incredibly supportive. They knew. So when I sort of announced like, "Hey, I'm going to go to Guatemala and I'm gonna
Yeah.
go into the rainforest and climb a mountain and I'm gonna do this," and all of this,
Yeah.
and I remember telling my mom first, and she said, "Sounds about right. Just sounds about right." And
Sounds like you.
Yeah, well, because I was called to the medicine after my father had passed, and
Yeah.
I was spiraling in grief. Like nothing
Mm.
was working, therapy, A, I couldn't afford it, and B, I've tried it before and it just I needed
Yeah.
something a little bit more, okay, anytime now. Um,
Mhm.
of course, I'm smoking all the weed, all the things, and that wasn't working either. Um,
Right.
trying all the things, and it was really just like a quick spiral downward. And watched this documentary on ayahuasca. My mom was sitting next to me, and I was just like, I'm going to do this. Like, I feel like this is what I need to do. And she said,
Mm.
go do your thing, do your thing.
Mhm.
And so I've always kind of been like the little flower love child in my family anyway. So when I
Yeah.
tell my siblings, they're just like, okay, like, great.
That's
Like,
so her.
this is,
Yeah.
um, and then my friends, of course, my friends are, it's one of those things when you decide to get on this path, like a very serious healing path,
Mhm.
you're going to really find who is there to support you and who is there to just make sure you stay where you are.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there was a shift. I lost a couple of
I
friends.
was gonna say, what was
I
there a
lost a
shift?
couple of friends when I told them what I was doing. And
Mhm.
when I talk to my friends about anything, I usually don't talk to them because I need their advice. I'm just
Mhm.
letting them know this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what I'm going to be doing.
Mhm.
So some friends who are just no longer in my life were giving me all of this fear, just
Yeah.
like, what if you go down there and die? And like all of this
Yes.
stuff. I'm like, girl,
Yeah.
I'm already terrified. I was like, I don't need any of this.
Yes, you don't need it. You don't. You have to have the support. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So
totally rejecting all of that from anyone. It doesn't even matter.
yeah.
Like if it's negative, it's just I can't even hear it anymore.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
so I did lose a couple of friends, and that's okay because the
Mhm.
friends that I have that stayed, I mean, they are the most supportive, grounding beings I've ever had in my life. So it's and now they know that this is my path, and they're just like, Gabby, this is the best thing that you could have ever done. And I 1,000% agree.
I'm glad. I'm glad that gives other people hope on their spiritual journey because I noticed some things too, some disconnections, and it was actually very hurtful for
Mm. Yeah,
me. Like I thought I just didn't know, when you make a shift that things may change like
mhm.
that. So
Yeah,
yeah, that was a little shocking for me because we're very much connected to our families and our friends and our domestication, our programming, and all of those things that culture and
yeah,
everything. And when it's like the person who said they didn't want to go, like, what if you go down there and I lose my personality? Well, some of that personality may go away and it probably needs to. I don't know. But what if? And what if you stay and your personality stays the same and your life stays the same? So
mhm,
it's the big what if. And for me, it's like, well, what if I don't try? What if I don't listen to this
mhm.
call?
Yeah.
What if I don't? You know?
Yeah, and I think for me, there was a point where I was just like, I need change. Like something has got to
Yeah.
change, and I'm
It,
tired of waiting for things around me to change. Maybe I should just be changing, and then
yes.
the things around me will then change, and then
Yes. This is it, Gabrielle. That's it. Life is, if we think about it, if we said, well, I turned 58 on September the 16th, right? So if I just think about it, life
Mhm,
has not changed. The same things are happening. It's just a different time.
mhm,
That meant that I needed to shift
mhm.
because if I shift, if I change the way I see these things and perceive them, everything will change. And really, literally,
Yes.
I feel like my world has changed. I don't know. Some people tell me that COVID still exists or whatever, and I didn't know that
Mhm.
because that doesn't exist in my world
Yeah.
anymore. It just doesn't exist in my world. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I had to change. I wanted to make some changes, and it's really worked out for me. So, I wanted to ask you, can you share like a story, a particularly powerful one
Uh-huh.
where someone came and And you may add, because I think I talked to you, you asked this question in the one-on-one. It's
Mhm.
like, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
When you come here, what are your expectations? And for me, I just didn't have any. I'm coming like, I don't know what my expectations are, but I believe that someone knows.
Mhm.
My ancestors know, I don't know, you guys know, but I wanted to come with a no reservations, you can't trick the spirit type of thing. Like,
Yeah.
God knows all. So just come, like, here I am. What do you want to do? You
Mhm.
know? And do you have a story where someone came with like a list, like they want to do this and they want to do that? And then after the experience, it was like, that was totally not even what I came for.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the story of every new participant.
Really?
Everyone comes with, well, most people come with,
Yes.
I really want to, you know the path of my career, or I really want to, just whatever the thing is. Usually it's about money or love or
Or
career.
love, or yeah, career. Yeah, money, love, career. I know. I want to know something else. I got a list of other things.
Right. And so they come with these, like, this list of things, and the way Mama Ayahuasca or Grandma Ayahuasca, however you want to call this lovely being,
Grandmama.
she'll say, okay, this is what you want to work on. Cool. In order to work on that, you need to work on this first.
Mm.
And
Oh, yeah.
so it's like, you're stating your intention before ceremony, and then after ceremony you're just like, wow, like, I thought I needed to work on this, and I worked on this by working on this really deep seated thing that I was kind of ignoring from the beginning.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it's ancestral stuff. It's stuff that's kind of
Mhm.
passed down. I came with the intention to my first ceremony. I really wanted to heal my grief about my dad's passing, and I just want to do all this, and they were working on anger. And I'm just like, first of all, I'm not even an angry person. I'm saying this being angry in my vision. I'm just like, this is not what I want to work on.
I love it.
They're just like, well, I mean, you have to get rid of this, because this anger that's been passed down ancestrally is slowly stealing your joy. And if
Yes.
you have joy, then your grief is going to be so long and thorough. So if you can't get rid of this, then you can't get rid of that. And so it's like, it's working on these layers, and sometimes you don't know the order of the layer of the shit
Mhm.
that you
Mm,
actually
yeah.
work
Yeah.
on. So I always like to say that ayahuasca will get to the root. It gets to
Ayahuasca will
where
get that good. That's
it
really
is.
good. We
Uh,
need to just create healing spaces for this everywhere,
yeah.
because you know what? I think I do remember I saw, I think I saw a video, it may have been on social media, and I saw Black men talking about their healing from PTSD.
Mhm.
And because I spent my career in mental health and being a social worker and doing therapy and just kind of being in that space of people with mental illness, and PTSD is one of them, anxiety, generalized anxiety disorders, and the major depressive disorders. And I suffered from major depression for when I say a long time, like a long time.
Mm.
And there are lots of things that, yeah, that I carried with me right through therapy. And it wasn't, I think at some point, like, you really just have to like go within,
Yeah.
because and not just look without. You have to, like, it has to be here, because
Mhm.
we kind of sort of get in the habit of looking outside of ourselves
Yeah.
for the answers, for anything, yeah, for healing. So for me, I just started healing in different ways and asking questions and digging a little deeper, and realizing that every question that you ask, the universe hears it, and there will be an answer.
Yeah.
It may not be what you want, but there's an answer. So Yeah, and I saw these guys, talking about that, and they are connected to your tribe. And
Mm.
so, but that was a little bit ago. And then
Mhm.
kind of fast forward, I was on YouTube and here you guys popped up. So there's never an accident for me. There's always synchronicity now. Everything is gelling the way it's supposed to. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm sitting here. I was like, this sounds interesting. Yeah, and that's how we came to be. I'm glad that we are here. I believe that your work is so important for um healing healing black people, I really do. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Tell me.
that's the thing. It's one of those things where, we aren't doing the healing. We are providing the space for people to heal themselves.
Mm, yeah.
And I think that's a big message. Like, everyone has it in them to heal themselves.
I
You
believe
have
that, Gabrielle.
you have everything that you need. Sometimes what's missing is the space, is the safety, is the time,
Yeah. Yeah.
is the consideration and compassion. How often do Black people get to go there and just be well taken care of, to go anywhere
Yes.
and be well taken care of? And you can take off all of your armor, all the armor that we wear when we are in America and we're doing all the things at work. You can take all that stuff off,
Mm-hmm.
build your little nest, and you can heal. It's you doing the work. We're just providing that space and safety so you can just, journey well, do what
Yeah.
you have to do. Yeah.
And if this is, not for other, if people are, there's plenty of ways to heal. So we're not just saying like,
Sure.
oh, this is your way, but this is
This
a
is
way that I have been led to. And so this is, and you're on my show. So this is the reason why, like, I believe in this. I have been called to it, and I wouldn't even be called to anything. I wasn't not something like this. I just
same.
wouldn't, So I know it's not me. What I'm saying is I know that it's not me, Deborah, just saying, oh, this is what I want to do. I want to, there is much gratitude and respect for
Yeah.
the space, for the medicine, for the healing, and for all of it. There's a
Yeah.
person, and I feel that. So
Yeah. Beautiful.
I want to what is self-love?
Oof.
What is self-love to you and to the Black Condor tribe?
I mean, I would say self-love is doing anything and everything you can to maintain your sense of alignment, your happiness. It's really being able to trust yourself, your intuition, that if something doesn't feel right, chances are it's not. If
Mm.
something feels good for you and you're just like, and usually for me, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Yeah, I hear you.
And that's kind of how I move in life. Do I really want this job? I mean, if I'm saying stuff like that, then probably not. How do I
Mm,
feel about being around this person? I don't know. It's not really feeling, or this person is great. It's really self-love is being able to just listen to and honor yourself.
yes.
Like, you have to be able to take care of yourself before you can even start to tend to other people. I
Yes,
feel like
yes.
so many people have been pouring from an empty cup, and
Mhm.
it just keeps on being passed down and passed down. People not taking days off, people not, you know, e- eating well, knowing that what they're eating is killing them. People, entering into relationships knowing that, they're seeing all the signs and they're still
Yeah,
moving forward. Uh,
yeah.
so it's really being able to kind of sit with yourself,
Mhm,
trust yourself, and listen to yourself. And
mhm.
it seems really easy. Oh yeah, listen to yourself. But then you have to also realize, who is that voice in my head? What does that voice sound like?
Yeah,
And for me growing up, that voice in my head was my dad, and he's very military, Gabrielle, da 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 da. And I'm just like, okay, I love you, and
Yeah.
I need to get you out of my head.
Yes. Yes. And you
I
can.
need to start listening to my voice. Where is my
Yes.
voice? And
Yes.
my voice is just like, it's all right. It's okay. And it's like now the voice that I have in my head is so loving and so
Mhm.
chill. And she's just like, listen, this is not the worst thing you've ever gone through. So let's not freak out. And
Mhm.
then, and now because I think I still have a very, very clear connection to my spirit guides, to my father who was crossed over. Now his voice is coming through as very just like gentle father.
Yes.
Okay, da 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 da. But I really had to kind of change and be able to tap into the voice that is in me, to my own intuition, and stop relying on that consent and guidance from other humans, because other humans are going through the same shit. They're
Yes. Yes. I mean, they got all of the shits and whistles. Yeah, we all do. We do.
Yeah. So I think self-love is a continued practice of like learning who you are and loving who you
Yeah.
are and accepting that there are parts of you that are going to change, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with change. And I think that's the only thing that's guaranteed in life, is that shit's
Mhm.
going to change always.
Yes.
And people are
But
going to change.
that's just good though, Gabrielle. That's so important, like to trust yourself. Yeah, I've just been doing that, and
Mhm.
I have had to. My ancestors, my spirit guides. Now I can say that. I used to. I wouldn't even have said anything like that. Like ancestors are talking to you, but yeah, they are very much present in my life, and they are telling me that I am to keep going,
Mm.
and that's what I'm going to do. I'm
Yeah.
going to keep going, but I understand that I am also assigned to heal some lineage stuff,
Mhm.
and it is some there, you know. So trusting yourself is very, very important. And you know what else you said that's really significant?
Mm.
Hearing your dad's voice, how your dad's voice changed once he made his transition.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
is so true, because you hear that parental guidance voice,
Yeah.
that earthly voice.
Yeah.
No, don't do this. You should. I would always hear my mother's voice,
Yeah.
always. My mother is still on earth, but my dad is not.
Mm.
And you are right. That wisdom coming from the cosmos
Yeah.
is so different. The
So
voice is even different. It's almost like, are you my dad for real?
it's almost
But
just like, I'm like, okay, you've changed. Okay, I
yes,
see you.
exactly.
Really, that's really
Like
what
you
it
have
is.
changed. Like, what's up with you? But I love it. I love it. It's great. It's really good wisdom. Yes, I appreciate that. So yeah, did you tell me a story? I know I'm moving all around here, but did you
So
tell
good.
me a story of someone who came there with a list of something and they left in a way that they felt honored and was like, oh my God, I didn't know this experience was this. Maybe they even had some fears and reservations when they came there. I know people are coming with a bag of fears. I know they
Yeah,
are.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, people usually come with the list of things they want to deal with. I'm trying to think of just like a
A
maybe.
specific, yeah.
So the two people that I have kind of introduced to this the most is one of my really good friends who just
Yeah,
went
how
for
did
the
that
first
work?
time this year. So
Oh,
I
good.
actually I met her in Thailand. So wild. Met her in Thailand, told her about this, and then she literally came to Oakland to do this.
Mm.
Um, and she's all excited. Oh yeah, girl, I'm gonna do all this work. And I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
let's not get so excited. And literally, a lot of people are afraid of the purge, the vomit,
Oh,
whatever.
of course, I asked you about that.
Right. And she's just like, girl, I just don't want to be the first person to purge. And I said, just don't think that, like, don't like try to hold back the purge. If you feel like
Yeah,
something's coming, we like to call it getting well. You're getting well. So just let it out.
yes. Let it out.
Legit, first night, she's I knew she was going to be a little bit rocked, because she was so determined to do the work, and the medicine met her exactly where she was. Okay, you ready? Great, we ready too.
Mhm.
And she did her thing. I came over, in the middle of ceremony, and she's just like, "What is this?" And I said, "I told you."
Oh, geez.
She's like, "Girl, I'm working on things. I'm working on things, and I didn't even know I needed to work on." And I said,
Mm.
"Yeah."
Oh, good
Uh,
though.
and she really wanted some very clear answers. And I'm not the one to tell her, "Oh, you're going to get those answers." I'm just like, that's not up to me. Like, that is up to you.
Mm.
Ayahuasca, your aunt. That's up to all y'all. That has nothing.
Mhm.
I'll just hold the space. And then, at the end of the weekend retreat, there was a obvious shift. Like, she came with so much anxiety and
Mm.
eagerness, and a lot of fear. Just not necessarily fear of the medicine, just like fear of life. Like, she
Yes, yes.
not knowing where she was going to be landing. She was 1,000% unrooted in many ways. And literally, things started falling into place, just like in such a wild and obvious way. I'm just like, all right, like this is wild. And she's just
Mm.
like, "I'm so glad that I did this retreat." She's like, "I got the answers and more." She's like, "I got peace." I mean, she's
Oh.
literally, I've never seen such a big shift from before retreat to after retreat.
Mhm.
And just like her just knowing that she is always going to be okay. Like,
Yes.
she doesn't have that fear of what's going to happen next, because
Mhm.
she gets to determine what's going to happen next.
Mm.
And she knows that she can do that, if she's in an aligned place, if she feels good. I said,
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
she's meditating, she's doing all the things. She's
Mhm. Mhm.
not having the same conversations she used to have, or
Mhm.
being in touch with the same people. The transformation was so, for me. So I'm just like, oh wow, like, I mean, I told you you'd get some healing, but girl,
Mhm.
you surprised me. So every
Good.
there's always a lovely transition of before and after.
Good.
You can sense it, you can feel it, and you can see yourself moving through that in real time while you're going through those ceremony nights, and it's quite powerful. And even me doing it, all of us who do it still, you can see the transformation from before ceremony to after, because we're also doing our work. We're holding space, but work is still being done on my
Mhm.
back end, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
okay, like,
Mhm.
this is stuff I also have to work on. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. What are your future visions? You, the team, the tribe, adorable, adorable. We love you. You are adorable, and we thank you. I'm just shouting
To
you out right now.
shouting her out.
Um,
And Amber, our sacred
and
musician.
Amber, the entire team. I haven't met you, but I
Yeah,
will. I
yeah.
will. So
Sure.
you're in to the Black Condor Tribe.
Yeah. Oof,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Um,
What are
I
you
our
guys'
our
future visions?
vision really is to be able to do this more. Like, we really want to provide more retreats more often to, as many people that need it. This is something where, I mean, we all have things that we do outside of this. And I know that we all would really just love to do this, full time. And that takes time, and it really takes the community. It takes people who are ready and wanting to, take this journey and do these steps. So we do have that vision of doing a lot more things internationally, a lot more privates. I mean, for me, I think it's important for the family unit to start to heal. It's so incredibly important for that, because I'm loving us being able to heal ourselves in real time and healing the lineage, like not passing shit down that doesn't need to be passed down. So our future is growth, expansion, doing this more. Yeah.
God, I so love talking to you. Yes, we need to stop passing down shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just
Yeah.
house of it. We're just like, okay, all right, here's your bag. Everybody gets like their own suitcase
Mm-hmm.
of ancestral shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I am just absolutely like, I don't want it. I really was talking to God in a way like, I don't want X, Y, and Z. I don't know about this family, like how did this family all come about? But I understand that, hey, we choose our families, our siblings, our parents for our own growth, but not,
And it's
not,
important to
not a
know,
but. And
yes. And while we do get passed down shit, we also get passed down so many great things
that's true.
that when we are able to recognize the gifts that are just in line for us, that have been set up for us. My dad has crossed over, but I feel like he's giving me the most gifts and opportunities that he's ever been able to give me while he was on this earth. And that is something that is like, whoa, like they give you, your ancestors give you way more beautiful stuff, spiritually, energetically, and they shake it down into like this, very physical world. And they're wanting you to heal this stuff that maybe they were not able to take care of while they were here. So yeah, while we do get a lot of shit and we do pass that shit down, we also get a lot of really lovely gifts and abilities and insights and wisdoms that we should also be passing on, to the generations after us. So it's a
Absolutely.
collective thing. Yeah.
I do. I agree with that. I agree with that. That my father, I mean, he gives so much wisdom.
Mm,
I received so much wisdom, way more than he could ever have given me here on
yeah.
earth, because of his limitedness here, I guess,
Mhm.
on earth and where he was. But now it is so divine. And I hear it like very clearly what to do. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't even have to guess that it's my dad.
Hmm.
I just know that it's my dad. And in addition to where I am now, there are different people that have come in my life that have different gifts. And so when I'm sitting here talking to them behind the studio, they'll say, "Oh, who's that man right there next to you? He's so happy, he's a tall man," but they're describing my dad, I guess they can see, that's their gift. So he's everywhere. And I just love that. I love that. And I wish that everyone could tap into that, not be afraid to expand their awareness and consciousness of God and not keep God like in this little box, but know that God is everything, all things seen and unseen, and known and unknown as well.
Mm.
So, yeah, I have expanded myself because of that. I just, like you said, I'm like, things got to change. Something has to change. I just felt like I just need to change something,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's been working for me. It really has. I'm
And
trying to
that's the
say
thing.
it's not without pain though, Gabrielle. Those
There's pain, there's fear.
fear, there's pain, there's like, oh my gosh, this is a way. It feels like honestly isolation sometimes
Yeah,
too. Like
that
I
part.
have felt isolated, like, wow, I just feel by myself, nobody understands. But I try not to stay there. I have been given a permission not to stay in a place like that because I'm not alone. I mean,
Right.
the ocean, the trees, the bird, yeah, you're not alone.
Right,
So
and that's the thing. I think, so many people have this fear of, like, the time of just being in isolation or just being with self. I think the reason why it's important to be able to have pockets of time in your life where you feel like it's just me, it's just me. And that's not a scary thing. That is such a lovely thing, because
Mhm.
you're learning how to love yourself. You're learning
Yeah.
how to develop a relationship with you and being able to trust you.
Yes.
And because you were the only person that you're going to have for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Period. That is it. You have you. And if you're not comfortable being with yourself and figuring stuff out in your mind and feeling very solid about it, then
Mhm.
it might be a rocky road, because you're going to always be, is this, I'm going to do this, how do you feel about that, what do you think about this, da, da, da.
Yes.
And then it's going to be a lot. So being
Mhm.
able to have those pockets of isolation, which,
Mhm.
not maybe actual physical isolation, but sometimes you just feel like, wow, like no one in my life is getting where I am right now. And
Mhm. Mhm.
everything that I'm saying seems to kind of just be either glazing over, going right over their head.
Yeah.
That's totally okay. This just means it's your time to get in your own head. This is your
Yeah.
time to do your own process of self-care, process of alignment, whatever that means for you.
Mhm.
Usually those are the times that really produce the most growth after you
Mhm.
finish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say to people who are being called to administer, or they feel like they want to administer, that they feel like they want to tap into their shamanic gifts, because we all are shamans? And
Oh.
do you guys have school? Do you all teach, this at the Black
Yeah,
College?
we have apprenticeships. So I mean, people who are kind of just learning as they go, and this is a fairly new thing that we've started, but it's one of those things where, like, as we grow, we are already seeing that many people are wanting to kind of tap into their own gifts and kind of learn. And it is, it is a bit of a commitment. It's not like you're going to be committing all of your life to it, but it's, when you're now showing up, now you're being in service to the community. So you're not just a participant, you are the ones, you're going to be doing the medicine and helping the participants at the same time. And there are some, it takes a process to kind of learn how to ground yourself and to hold space for the room, energetic space, physical space, how to, do all the things that are necessary to create a really clear and safe container. So yeah, we do offer those apprenticeships, and it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
really beautiful to be able to kind of see someone who just started and to kind of see their journey, and I'm like, oh wow, like you're really going into your own, and we totally support that. Everyone has gifts, everyone has something that they have to bring to the table, so it's not like, ooh, it's just us and you got, no, like
Yeah.
you want to learn, great, we are also learning, so it's not like we know all the things. I'm still learning so much from Adorable's learning so much from her,
Yeah.
teachers and mentors as well. So it's always a process. But we
Gosh, I see for you guys, Black Condor tribes set up everywhere, everywhere around the
we
world, so that people can have access. And this is the day for it. It is the time in evolution right now for us to change. It is open. People are more talking about it. And I think that people want to heal. They want to change some things in their life. We've gotten to this point. It's like, well, damn, we're doing the same thing. And maybe we need to do something else.
something different.
And yeah, yeah. So I really, really support your tribe, and I support the work that you're doing. What's the most rewarding for me, honestly? And I haven't even had the experience yet, but what's the most rewarding for me is being able to heal collectively. I
Mm,
mean it. It is nothing like being supported,
mm,
right? You
yeah,
are loved. We are all loved and supported so much. We just don't know. To anyone who's out there, I mean, you have ancestors and spirit guides and angel teams and a whole spiritual village that loves and supports you and is
mm,
standing by ready to help you in
yeah,
any way on your journey. And so I just I just really send, all of the love and prayers and just thoughts to anyone watching this, that the information is going to be in the show notes too.
mhm,
You'll see it on and there's a like a intake form.
Yeah.
If you're just curious and you want to know, fill out this form and you can speak with someone. I spoke to Gabrielle. It was awesome. And I thought, oh my God, you guys, I got a podcast, you need to come on here. And so yeah, if you're thinking about it, if you don't resist, is what I'm saying. Don't judge. Just allow yourself to be, put your hand over your heart. And if you are going through something and you have experienced some traumas, just know that God is there with you and you can heal your own self. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to look outside of yourself. You can heal your own self. And
Mm-hmm.
here we have a space that's being created right here through the Black Condor Tribe. And
Yeah.
I totally am in support of them. You guys are on Instagram too, yes, because I follow you.
Yeah, we're on Instagram.
What's
Definitely
your
follow us there.
what's your Instagram?
Oh my God, you think first of all, I'm never on Instagram.
That's okay. I follow you. I think it's
I think it's Black Condor Tribe. Let me just double
okay.
check really
I
quickly.
think it is too. Black Condor Tribe on IG.
Yeah.
At Black Condor Tribe, I believe.
Yeah, it's definitely it. Black Condor Tribe. Boom, boom. That's exactly what it is. So yeah, definitely go to
On IG, guys, if you're looking right here at the Black Condor Tribe, follow them. I've been following you all, and you're not
Perfect.
far. California is not far. It's just a
Yeah.
plane ride away.
I would always just say if you have any questions, just if you're curious, if you just want to get more information, fill out the intake form. Our next ceremony that we're going to have is going to be either January or February of next year. So, you have time to sit and think, talk.
Is that one going to be in California though?
So this one we are not quite sure as far as the location. It might be in Mexico, it might be in California, it might be in Brazil. So
Oh,
we got
okay.
some options here, but definitely fill out the intake form. Come with all of your questions. We'll be able to answer them, and just if you feel like this could be an option for you, then lean forward, lean
Yeah.
forward.
Lean forward. I love that.
Yeah.
Lean into it. I totally love that. Thank you for that. Lean forward, guys. Yeah. So I ask everyone before we get out of here, gosh, I don't even want to, I could talk about this
I
forever and
think
to
too,
talk to you
forever.
forever. You are so easy and I feel very safe with you, talking with you. I'm very connected to what you're saying. But what are you most excited about in life today?
Ah, I am the most excited about my very clear sense of freedom. I have this sense of freedom because I feel like I am 1,000% in the driver's seat of my life. And I'm looking at all the things that are happening, and I'm just like, we did that. Me and my ancestors, we did that. We did that. We did that. And I know that if I want to do something, I can do that. Like there are no limitations. And I feel that now. I think for a majority of my life growing up, I was always fearful about, God, am I going to be able to have the career that I want? Am I going to be able, like, all of those things, as if it was something that was outside of my own control. And now I'm just leaning forward into the feeling of, this is what I want to do. And I don't necessarily know exactly how it's going to happen. Those answers will come, but I'm going to prepare myself and know that I'm going to ask my inner being. I'm going to ask my ancestors. I'm going to really meditate, pray about it, and then know that that's something that I can do. So it's not something, I don't know. I feel like I just have freedom, and I don't
I'm
want to say
glad you said that.
control over all of my life, but I certainly have a say in how I'm going to act and how I'm going to feel and how
Mhm.
I'm going to move. And I'm just excited that I can create my future.
Yes, I'm excited for you. I'm excited. I am, girl, I am excited for the freedom that you feel.
Yeah.
That is what has
Freedom.
been the most reward, the freedom that I feel inside. And I know that it's freedom because I felt so bound before.
Yes.
If I had not been through all of that stuff that had me all up in a bind, I
Yeah.
wouldn't know what this freedom feels like. I would
Yeah.
have no clue
Yeah.
because it is totally the opposite. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. You know what I didn't ask you about?
Yeah.
The combo practices, and is it
Ah,
hape? Hape?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How do those
Okay.
practices contribute to the healing journey?
Yeah, so all of them are really God, really great additions to ayahuasca. So
Mhm.
combo is a we call it frog medicine. It is literally the secretion of a
This
particular frog that they find in
frog, the tree frog.
the tree frog, but a very particular kind. And it is something that it's not a psychedelic. It is definitely a body detoxer. It is a body cleanser.
Oh.
So it's one of those things where with paired with ayahuasca, I mean, especially you can do it, without it, but with it, it's also really beautiful. It really finds where you hold the most kind of trauma and stress in your body. And
Oh,
that's it kind of gets all of that stuff out. Um,
really?
so for me, I had a surgery back in 2015, getting fibroids removed. So when I take combo, especially the first few times I took it, that's where it was going. Like you could just feel it cleaning
Healing?
out all
Okay.
stuff that was just like energetic stuff where you
Wow.
hold your trauma. So a lot of it was in my neck and shoulders. This is what it's used for. And when you pair it with
Mm,
ayahuasca, it's really good to have the cleaner, the detoxer of the combo, and then just like this beautiful mother medicine to kind of, give you, pouring into you the things that you need. So
mm,
that's how that marries. And so with
wow.
hape, that is more like that's and they call it like a shaman snuff. It's a very fine ground down like tobacco mixed with
Mm,
like herbal ashes. And that's something that it kind of helps you when you're in certain sticky spots in the ceremonial space. So you're on the medicine and you feel like, ugh, there's a purge coming, and you just can't get it out. Like you just can't get it out. And
mhm.
then you do hape and clear.
You get it out.
Yes.
Okay.
Or like you're in a space, you're having your visions, your feelings, and you feel like it's coming down, and you feel like, oh, I feel like there's a little bit more wisdom that I need to get, and I feel
Mhm,
like I'm
mhm,
coming out of it. And then
mhm.
hape, you're right back in it. So
Wow.
it hape does exactly what it needs to do for the participant.
Okay.
So I might be taking it in ceremony because I'm like, oh, I really need to stay in the medicine right now. And then
Mhm.
my mom might be taking it because, ooh, like I really need to get rid of whatever this is right now.
Mm,
Or some people just take because it's one of those things when you're called to take it, you'll take it.
yeah.
One of those things that, if you're been doing it long enough, you can kind of administer it to yourself. And then if you
Mm,
haven't, then we kind of serve it to you. So yeah, there's different medicines that we kind of add on to our ceremonial experiences that are options. They're not requirements. You don't have to take hape. You don't have to do combo. If you're
mhm.
not called to it, don't do it. And again, like this is a space where we're empowering you to listen to yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to drink tons of medicine. You can go in there and drink a little bit, and you're like, "This is good," and
Mhm, mhm,
go there and, do what you need to do. So it's
mhm.
really a space where you're learning how to just trust yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Say
Trust
yes
you.
to what's yes, and to know what's no, and there's no wrong answer. There's no
Mm.
wrong answer for that.
That's beautiful. That
Yeah.
is so beautiful. Well, I am not going to take up all of your time because
I love this.
it's beautiful. I'm here in Panama and I'm sitting here and I could talk to you for another hour or
Same,
two. It
same.
feels very comfortable and I appreciate you. I'm so glad that we connected, and I am definitely in support of your tribe, your mission. I
Yeah.
can't wait to meet the team. Just remember this
Yeah,
name
definitely. We're excited to meet
and
you.
Deborah.
Yeah,
And
yes.
yeah, and I'm gonna see you guys. So
And I'm happy
yeah,
to do these calls whenever you want. This was so fun. I could have
okay,
these
good. We
conversations
need to keep you
all
guys
the
space like
time.
among the people
Yeah.
so you can set your calendar on you can, you really can, because I believe in this.
Yeah.
This is healing.
Yeah.
Someone is going to look at this and they're going to end up in your space.
Hmm.
And I know that this is the reason why I started the channel. So actually, I didn't know why I started it, because I didn't want to be afraid to talk in front of someone. And you know what? I used to speak in front of a lot of people, but I don't know about that fear. That fear is something when you really start to work on yourself and you really
Yeah.
start to get honest with yourself. You're like, I'm not as confident as I thought I was,
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah,
It's
but
all
this has
good.
been,
Yeah,
yeah.
we are happy to jump on again, maybe next time, because Adorable's in the jungle right now doing her own work.
Oh
Um,
my
so
gosh.
she comes out in a couple of weeks. So yeah, I mean, it'd be great for
I thought about that jungle.
Oh, and yeah, and
Got to
Adorable.
be ready for the jungle.
I mean, you have to be called to the jungle. I mean,
Yeah.
1000%. I don't pack your bags and just go. Like, really sit down and talk to your ancestors.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because I was like, whoa, somebody talked about, I listen, I look at reviews and the bugs and everything. I was like, I don't know if I can
Right.
do the jungle,
And I
you
think
know.
that's another misconception. I think a lot of people, especially in America, think that you have to go there in order to get ayahuasca.
I
And
did.
you do not.
I know.
Why we create very safe, comfortable places for you to do this work. Now, if you feel like you are called to go to the jungle and do this, very lovely, very authentic
Yeah.
experience, do all of that. Adorable has actually taken a group of our community down to the jungle for December. It's called Black to the Jungle.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, so if you're called, great, but just know that that's not the only way of you getting access to this medicine. And a lot of times people can't afford to, take 2-3 weeks off and fly all the way
Yeah.
down. It's that could also be a barrier, which is another reason why we created this tribe to just
Yeah.
make it more accessible.
Well, I am proud of this tribe. I am thankful. I am so glad that you took your time to come here today to the Fear to Freedom Project. You guys are welcome here in my house anytime. Thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
You
And
have fun. I know that.
listen, to everyone that's out there, thank you so much. If you are tuning in for the first time, welcome to the Fear to Freedom Project. And like and subscribe, leave a comment, set your notifications, a bell, and tell me what you felt about this. Have you ever thought about ayahuasca?
Mhm.
Have you been faced with any traumas? Are
Mm,
you tired of going around and around and around in the same space and the same thought patterns?
mm,
Well, there is definitely help for you here at the Black Condor Tribe. And so you
yeah.
can get everything in the show notes. There's going to be a link for you to fill out an interest form so that you can get some time to talk to one of the leaders. And so thank you for that. If you are returning champion, thank you so much to the family for watching.
Mm,
And we love you so much. And listen to me, Gabrielle.
listen.
You are so easy. You are such a bundle of joy. And I am so glad and thankful that you took your time,
Man, my pleasure. I mean, I knew our one-on-one probably lasted way longer than it should have.
I know. Well,
But
you
this is
got,
so great. So I am just reflecting you. That is what's happening right now. So
well,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much for thinking of us to, bring us on and to kind of
Yes.
spread our message in this way. It's very beautiful. So it's appreciated. My ancestors see your ancestors.
Yes, they do. Yes. I love that. That makes me excited. All right, you guys, we're out of here. Peace and love. Take care.
Bye.